happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you're fine, wanna have a good time, like, comment, and subscribe. What's Gucci, everyone? I am back, but I apologize for having such a long period of time before I'm uploading. I'm going to be more consistent, and I'm going to have a lot more content coming up within this next month. It's winter break for me, so I'm going to be filming. That's all I'm going to do is film, and really make sure I get content out. In today's topic, we're actually going to discuss my top 3 pageant systems. So these pageant systems are systems that I feel are great for anyone and are really beneficial to making sure you build your confidence, self-esteem, and also have a great time. So we're going to start with number 3. Number 3 is my third favorite pageant system, which is going to be MAC pageants. MAC pageants, let me tell you something about MAC. So I did NAM first, and National American Miss, which is NAM, kind of resembles and has similarities to the MAC pageant. After doing a little bit of research, NAM was basically established from the concepts of the MAC pageant, and MAC stands for Miss American Co-Ed. Miss American Co-Ed pageant is very girl next door, and I say that because with NAM, it's a little bit more glitz and glamour. However, it's not a glitz pageant. You do not have to wear makeup and have an expensive dress to win, but that's the image. You know, it's the image about what to wear at NAM versus what to wear at MAC. And I'm going to get into that in just a few. MAC pageant, like I said, is very girl next door. So when I first signed up for MAC, I signed up for MAC with already the knowledge of knowing that it does have similarities to NAM, as well as the competitions, the trophies. Everything just had a little bit of a sister-sister relationship. But I still enjoyed it because of the morals and ethics behind it. You know, it really promotes positivity and pageantry, and a lot of times people look at pageantry like it's a money-hungry corporate situation, and it's not like that. There's tons of benefits within the MAC organization and pageant systems in general. I chose MAC because I don't rate these pageants if I win them. That has nothing to do with if I like a pageant or if I don't like a pageant. I rate these pageants because I feel as though that they're very useful and they're very positive and they have great feedback and great results. And the one thing I like about the MAC pageant is that it is girl next door. You don't have to have a $3,000 dress, or you don't have to have a $500 makeup artist and an $800 hairstylist to win this pageant. You can be your natural self, and you can be natural in general. When I did the pageant, I've noticed a lot of the times that the girls that represent the systems are very relatable. They're relatable, and you can talk to them, and you don't feel intimidated when you're talking to these girls. And half the time it's because that's who they are. They choose genuine girls, they choose genuine young women to represent their system. It's very well organized. It has everything you need. The staff are very kind, they're very patient, and honestly, it's a system that's great for people who are just starting off in the world of pageantry. And for me, I wasn't starting off in the world of pageantry, but it has something for everyone. I felt like I was being challenged, which is good. I don't want to get in the system and feel like it's an easy win. And sometimes I feel like that, especially if it's a new system and it's less than 5 girls, or it's like maybe 3, 5, 6, between 3 to 10 girls, and not all the girls have experience. MAC is a system that still challenges you and makes you feel like that you have to be your best authentic self. And this is just at state pageant. State pageant was an eye-opener for me because I met people that I can actually talk to instead of having to realize if they're fake or not, or if they're just acting this way because we're competitors or we're competing in a pageant. After I won state, nationals, it was a completely different story. State, yes, that's Girls Next Door, it's great preparation for nationals. However, nationals is a big league, and it's very, very competitive. And even though this is a Girls Next Door pageant, a very natural, authentic, charismatic, beautiful woman pageant, you're going to be challenged to your best ability. I placed 16th overall at nationals, and I was actually very proud and great at it because I placed 16th overall at nationals. And I think honestly, it was a moment where I was like very proud of myself because I'll never place that high at a national pageant. Well, I have, but we'll get to that later. But that's my very first mainstream pageant that I placed that high before, and ever since then it's just been, encouraging me to do better. So that's another reason why I like that pageant, because after I competed in that pageant, it was a very encouraging experience. It makes me want to do better, practice harder, and get higher and better results. But nationals, honestly, it was in Florida, so we was able to go to Disney World, take our pictures and stuff. However, all of this does cost money, so it's not free to go into Disney World and take your pictures. There are some cons to this pageant system. One, money. If your state pageant is very popular, if you have a lot of girls, most of the amenities and the perks, the prize package are paid for, like your entry fee to the national pageant, or you can use some of your prize money to actually pay for your Disney World tickets and all the other stuff, as in the dinners, the Disney dinners, and everything else. But if you come from a smaller pageant system or a smaller state like me, then sometimes you don't have enough contestants to fill that package and that prize money. However, there you still get your entry fee paid to the nationals, but everything else is quite expensive. You have to pick and choose which ones you want to do, which is not bad. Not all of it is necessary, and it's definitely not mandatory. They do these things for fun. This is a pageant where it has activities, which is another reason why I like the system. It's fun. It has activities that you can do other than Disney World. It has Disney dinners, so you can go to dinner, and it has Disney princesses, so it's great for little kids. And they have singing and dancing. They have moments where you can enjoy and not just wind down and not be worried about what am I going to wear for an interview, what are you going to say, how do you have to talk, how do you have to sit. It's a time to unwind and actually have a break during the pageant weekend. So that's another thing I like about the system, is that it's not all pageant. It's fun and games, and it's very relaxing to be in. And all the faculty and staff are very supportive, and they're fun to be around, and they're not always hard on. Well, only if you're late. Don't be late. Please don't be late. But only if you're late to an event, that's mandatory. But other than that, they're very easygoing, and they're very helpful staff. So MAC pageant is my third pageant system that I enjoyed, because not only is it relatable, but I actually get along with the girls. It's fun. It's not just pageantry, and the overall experience itself was very rewarding. So that is my third pageant system. Now, my second pageant, this was a very hard decision for me because I was going back and forth. I'm sorry, my bangs is like, they popping right now, but like they're popping in my eye. So I'm just trying to maneuver them and boop, boop, get over there. So I was bouncing back and forth between my first and my second preferred pageant, because they're both completely different pageants, but they're both enjoyable, and they're both great systems. And it was hard for me to choose which one I wanted to be my second and which one I wanted to be my first. So my second pageant system, I decided to go with NAM. I mentioned NAM and the third one, which was MAC, but NAM would have to be my second overall favorite pageant system, because it's just a great system. I say that because I have a personal attachment to NAM. It took me 6 years to win my very first NAM title, and I won National American Miss Maryland Teen, and then 2 years later I won Miss, and it was just an experience that I worked so hard to get to that goal. When I finally won, I was just so excited and so happy to be a part of it. But I went to nationals 3 times. I've had 1 local title, 2 state titles, and trust me, I'm not putting this in top 3 just because I won. I put it in top 3 because it deserves to be in top 3. And keep in mind, it took me 6 years to win my very first title in NAM. And I competed in NAM in every year since until I won. So the reasons why I chose National American Miss to be my overall second favorite pageant is because you get what you pay for. When you first join NAM, you have to go through an audition process because they don't let just anyone be a part of the system. They only choose girls that are worthy, that have potential to do something great. Now, all of us are capable, but not all of us are ready at a certain amount of time. So when we go through the audition process, they look for 100% genuine, well-spoken, diverse girls that can be future leaders. And when I first went through the audition process and I made it through, I was like, wow, this made me feel special. So I felt very special when I got accepted through the open calls to go through National American Miss. And now I was like, it's my first pageant. I can't believe I'm doing this. And I thought I had the same idea about pageantry for years. I didn't think it was me. I had a speech impediment growing up, so I didn't think that I would be able to talk in front of people. But after joining the system, I learned a lot about myself. I learned a lot about controlling my anxiety and stress, and I learned a lot in general about how to do things like this and be comfortable in front of a group of people, and especially in interview, which has helped me a lot through my life. It's a chapter that I'm glad that I opened. But NAM is very rewarding, and you get a lot for what you pay for. And when you first join a pageant, that's the only time you have to pay an expensive joining fee, and it's still not as expensive as a lot of pageants that I have done. Some pageant systems, I know there's one I had to pay over $1,000 just for hotels and all this other fancy stuff that I really didn't seem like it was worth it. But for NAM, every year I competed, it just got cheaper and cheaper because as a returning girl, you get more perks and you get more benefits. But however, if you are good and you're practicing and you're able to place in these optionals and actually win, you get your money back. And sometimes you get more than what you asked for. The year that I won, I was lucky enough to go to college. I went to college that year. I'm in my senior year now, so I was going to college my first year when I won my teen title, and I was able to go to college with about $2,200 in my bank account because of the optionals in the competition I won. So it's like, wow, I can't believe this. Like, I actually got something back for my hard work. So you're getting rewarded for working hard towards your goals. Keep in mind, I wasn't competing in NAM because I wanted the money. I competed in NAM because I worked so hard to win. I wanted to win because I worked so hard. It took me years to even get this far. I wanted to reach my goal. It wasn't even about the money, but the money is what made it even more beneficial towards me. When I went home with over $2,000 in my bank account, right in my hands, and I was like, wow, I actually got money for this pageant system, and it was for me just being me and reaching towards my goals. And I remember I placed in every optional, but I won in 80% of the optionals that I did. I won casual wear, I won most promising model, I won top model, I won actress, I placed in talent, placed in photogenic, I won I can't even remember everything, but I know that I did a really great job, and I also won the teen title for the state. So you win a prize package where you win money every time you win an optional. So me winning 3 or 4 optionals and it ranging to $250 a piece at the time when I was competing. I'm not sure what it is now because it's been a while since I competed now, but you still get money winning in your prize in your division. So I won that money for for winning those optionals as well as for winning the teen title. So when I went home not only satisfied, but I went home with help for me when I get into college. So it was so rewarding, not just mentally but physically as well. And not just that, the optionals are actually really helpful, because a lot of pageant systems, all they have is preliminary. All they have is evening wear and formal wear, and well, I said formal wear, evening wear, interview, and most of the time they have either a fun fashion, or they have, personal introduction or volunteer service. These other optionals are very beneficial for those who are in extracurricular activities and they want to showcase their talent or showcase how they feel. Like spokesmodel, I really appreciate that competition. Even though I'm personally not a spokesmodel competitor, I love watching those girls who have these speeches that they want to express their concerns about, and they actually, feel like that speech is helping them get closer to their platform and to get closer with they're passionate about. So competitions like that are very helpful to people who are wanting to advance in their careers, their future careers, or in college, and they see that on their resume, and they're like, wow, you're a spokesmodel winner. I wonder what your topic is about and what you spoke about, and it's a great conversation starter. But not just the optionals are the reasons why, and the rewards are the reasons why that I competed in NAM, is because nationals itself is a whole new experience. You meet influencers, you meet authors, you meet former title holders that became very successful in their fields and businesses, and they're coming back to show us what NAM has done for them and what they're doing in life right now to help them get to where their future and career is. And you're looking at these people like, wow, they were sitting in this chair one day, and you're like, I could be like that. I could really be just like them. And that's how I felt when all these people came back and they spoke to me, and they're speaking to me, telling me that I can do literally whatever I put my mind to. And I read the books of former title holders, and I'm like, wow, these people are amazing. So NAM is something that is it's a personal attachment for me, and I've grown a lot through NAM, because not only is very, very beneficial and rewarding to your pockets if you were to win. Of course, you got to work hard. NAM is not a pageant that you can walk in and you can smile and look cute and you think you're going to walk away with a title. No, you have to have something up here in order to even win the system. So that's very challenging. I love a challenge, so of course I love NAM. I still haven't placed at nationals, but maybe one day, maybe I'll compete again. You never know. They have a new rule, so I might go back, but until then, I'm not sure. I do, however, support the system 100%, and I support what they do for us as young women growing up. And I'm very pleased to have participated in NAM for all of this time. So, of course, NAM is definitely going to rank high in my category. It's going to rank top 2, almost ranked first. But I'm going to tell you why number 1 is number 1. So, we're going to head into number 1. All right. Last, but certainly not least, we're going to talk about my number 1 pageant system. And I love this system so very much. And this is East Coast USA. Now, East Coast USA doesn't get a lot of coverage because it's not a national pageant. Even though they have nationals, their nationals is on the East Coast, hence the word East Coast USA. So it's only on the border of the East Coast line. They have states like New York, New Jersey, Virginia, Massachusetts, Connecticut, Maryland, Delaware, DC, Virginia. I think I said Virginia, but all the states that border the East Coast. So it is just on the East Coast. I mean, maybe one day they'll expand it because it really is an amazing system. A lot of people like to call it a glitz pageant. It's definitely not a glitz pageant. And I am not a glitz pageant girl. I don't compete in glitz pageants, but I do compete in East Coast because everyone, I cannot stress this enough, everyone walks away with something. It's a great pageant, especially for those who are just starting off and for those who haven't competed in pageants, and especially little girls, because I know when I was younger, I was a little bit of a sore loser. Every time I felt like I wasn't doing my best or if I wasn't being rewarded for something, I get a little upset because I don't feel good enough. East Coast, you don't feel like that. Every little girl walks away feeling like she's a winner because they get a crown and they get a little goodie bag, and they're just the most happiest little girls that you ever seen, because they feel like that they are good enough because they don't walk away with just nothing. They walk away with something. Not only do they walk away with experience and they walk away with having fun, they walk away thinking that they're a winner, because they are. Truly, all these girls are winners that are competing in these pageants, because it's not easy to go on that stage and compete in front of hundreds of people. But East Coast is a great system for those that are just starting off. When I first started East Coast, I won my first time doing it, but I was just amazed at the production. The production is well organized. It's a one-day pageant, so you would expect for it to be long, but the way they set it up is like you're never there for more than a couple hours, because each section is so organized and it's placed in different times of the day, so they get the little girls out the way and they get the bigger girls out the way. So not everyone is there for such a long time, and that's why I appreciate that, because a lot of systems, even in 2 or 3 days, it takes forever. It takes hours to get through one competition, and they have hundreds of girls competing, and they are speeding through it like water. It's really amazing to see, because I know for a fact that it's so stressful waiting in line. Your nerves are building up, and you just want to get on that stage and show them what you got, and they really are really put together. So that's one thing I like about East Coast, other than the fact that every single girl walks away with a crown and a gift. And for nationals, it's just so colorful. It's so colorful. It's so vibrant and fun. And we internationals know that you're going to win something. You're going to win something, whether it's a title or whether it's a gift or whether it's friends or whether it's, you know, connections. And I know East Coast connected me to a lot of modeling opportunities. Me personally, I am a model. I love modeling. It's something that I want to do, and East Coast has connected me through a lot of modeling opportunities, and I have got my first cover on the magazine because of East Coast. So East Coast is the reason that my career has took off as much as it did, and that's why it's my number one, because it has guided me through a lot of the things that I wanted to do in life. And when, as a title holder, I was able to go to New York Fashion Week. I was able to go to BeautyCon. Oh my gosh, I'd never been to BeautyCon before, and I went and I didn't have to pay for it, and I was like, wow, this is amazing. I went to BeautyCon. I got an opportunity to go on Good Morning America, and it was just an amazing time I had being a title holder. And there was always events. There was always something they was taking us to, and I was like, wow, they're really exposing us for a system that's so small but big at the same time, that doesn't have a lot of exposure. They deserve more of an exposure, because even though it's on the East Coast, it does a lot for the title holders and for every girl in general, because their opportunities are not only limited to title holders, they're limited to everyone. It's like everyone has a chance to do something with East Coast, even if they're not a title holder. So that's something that I think is really, actually, I've never seen anything like that before in a pageant system. East Coast definitely has everything that you can want in the system. It has character, it's fun, you get what you need. Like, you get the reassurance that you need, knowing that you're a winner regardless, and that's exactly what they're telling you. They're telling you you're a winner. So I'm really grateful to compete in East Coast. I'm definitely going to compete in it again. I'm not sure when, but it definitely will happen. I have 3 titles with East Coast. I have my Maryland state title. I have my national title, because I did go and I won a national title, and I also have my East Coast Christmas Spectacular title, because I did a Christmas pageant. It was very fun, and all of these titles are non-bounding. East Coast wanted to make sure that if you win their pageant system, you could go compete at another pageant. You don't have to be under contract like most of these systems, and you can go do whatever you want, even as a representative for East Coast, as long as you're doing respectable things to society and to yourself. But you can do whatever you want. You want to do whatever pageants you want. You can compete in other systems. It's non-bounding, and you can do USA, because East Coast, if you can't come back, that's fine. You did your deed, you did good, and you can come back the next year and compete again in a different category if you want to, or even for a different state. All states are open. So I can go to Virginia and compete if I wanted to, or if I can go to DC or get a DC title or get an appointed title. Each state is open, and each state will treat you the same way, fairly organized, and you get a lot of perks out of it. So East Coast is definitely my #1 system. I love East Coast to death, and I'll definitely will do it again, and I highly recommend it to anybody, no matter what age you are, because they have a Mrs. Division. They have the Miss Division ranges from I believe it's from 19 to 28 or 29, one of those, but that's a huge range. Most pageant systems end at 24, 25 for the Miss Division, unless you're going to a Ms. pageant system. And East Coast doesn't make you feel old. Me, I'm getting older, so I'm trying to do as many systems that end at 24 and 25 as possible, the ones I really want to do. So I am happy that I have a chance to do East Coast before, even after I age out the other systems. So I am so happy to know that I'm not old to them. So that's great, because pageantry really makes you feel old, especially when you get into the time where you can't compete in any other system. So my #1 is East Coast. So if you guys are interested in competing in any of these pageant systems, I will link. If you guys are interested in competing in any of these pageant systems, I will link all of the websites to these systems down below, as well as their name and their upcoming national pageant dates. So look in the description if you are interested, and if you're not, share this video with somebody who is interested in competing in pageants or finding great pageant systems. I hope you like, I hope you comment, I hope you subscribe, I hope you enjoy my videos, and I'll catch you on the flip side. Okay, that was ugly. Yeah, peace out, home slice.